It is 6:30 in the morning right now, and I have woken up in a very sour mood. Well, initially I hadn't woken up in a sour mood. I was happy. I'll paint you guys a scene before we get into why I'm upset, although you can probably tell from the title. It's 5:45 in the morning, my alarm goes off, up and ready for the gym. But I decide to check Twitter before I go to the gym, right? Galaxy brain move on my end. I don't really have a problem with going on Twitter. I know a lot of people find Twitter like a bit too much these days. I like Twitter, but I check my Twitter and I'm getting tagged. I'm getting these posts from people. I'm checking my Discord. I'm getting a post from people, and it's from the Tekken team. Now, I appreciate communication. I really do. It's just what was communicated to us was not the best of news. So you've probably already seen it. For those of you that haven't, I'm going to read it out to you, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and my feelings on this whole situation, and talk about some other stuff that I was going to talk about in a couple of days, but I might as well just do it now. So it says, with the excitement growing for the upcoming Tekken World Tour 2024 Global Finals, the Tekken team would like to share more details regarding the major events coming up this week. New information about future updates for Tekken 8 will be announced. However, regarding the next playable character, no additional information will be revealed during the events. Our team is currently working on the announcement and release later this winter to ensure we can fully meet everyone's expectations. We are preparing a warm welcome for all headed to the Tekken World Tour 2024 Global Finals, where the first world champion of Tekken 8 will be crowned King of Iron Fist, and to the Tekken 30th anniversary event Excellent Tekken Festival, which will feature various Tekken related activities. We look forward to welcoming you both at the venue and through online streaming for both events. Now, first things first, just want to say my support is completely for Joker. I believe Joker's our only UK representative, so we've got to support one of our own. Also, he plays Feng, so how can I not support him? So my support is for Joker. Let me know who you guys are supporting in the Tekken World Tour Finals. Now, when I read that, I frowned so hard. I was like, what am I reading? I'm thinking to myself, the Tekken World Tour, the 30th anniversary of Tekken, this is going to be a grand showcase. We're going to get something monumental. This character is going to be groundbreaking. And I read that and I was like, my initial Twitter post, you guys can probably tell I'm very tired right now. It's still the morning. I'm not sure what time this is going to go up, but I'm very, very tired right now. My initial post was like, what the hell are you guys doing? This is an L. This is the Tekken World Tour. This is like WrestleMania for us, right? That are Tekken fans. I know to maybe some other people it's not that big of a deal, but this is the first Tekken 8 Tekken World Tour. It's in Shibuya. I was like, this is like a slam dunk. This is going to be amazing. Apparently not according to these guys. So my initial reaction was to get angry. Then I remembered after I tweeted, and I was like, I'm going to leave the tweet up because that was how I felt in the moment. But then I remembered the Game Awards are coming up. Then I started to think, this has to be a guest character, because if it was just a Tekken character, then you're not going to wait until the Game Awards. You're going to show your Tekken character at the biggest Tekken event of the year. You're not going to do it elsewhere. It doesn't really make any sense. Now it's almost confirmed that it's a guest character, because imagine, and this is no shade on any of these characters because I like all of them, but imagine they're like, we're not doing it at the Tekken World Tour, but here's Miguel at the Game Awards. And we're going to look at him and be like, what are you doing? Like, Miguel's fine. I want Miguel back in the game, but Miguel, like, why didn't you just do him at the Tekken World Tour? Same goes for even the biggest characters in Tekken. You've got Ancient Shinoga, you've got Jinpachi, rumors of Marduk and Fakuram already being in the game. You wouldn't say, hey, we're not going to show you anything right now. We'll show you a little bit later down the line, a couple of days, and it's Marduk. And this is coming from a Marduk main. I'd look at him and be like, what's going on? You guys, you lost the plot or something? So it has to be a guest character. It's got to be something monumental. Now, before I get on to my predictions on who I think it might be, because I had a whole other video planned, so I'm just going to merge it into this one. It does say that they've got things planned for us. Now, it's the 30th anniversary of Tekken. I don't know what they've got planned. I've got no insider information. I can only guess that it's going to be a couple of things. A, it might be a remaster of old Tekken games, or like maybe they'll announce that in the Tekken arcade we'll be able to access older Tekken games. Maybe they'll do a re-release of Tekken Tag 2 on the store. Who knows? It could be a number of things. It could also be a tease for Season 2. So we saw recently that Steam updated their policy saying you kind of need to show the content that you're advertising. Now, apparently this doesn't pertain to Tekken. They can still hide the characters and their names away, but maybe they'll show us some other things that we're getting in Season 2, just to that sort of whet our appetites. Personally, I would like them to change their business model and show us the characters. I'm really not for this whole, oh, let's build hype for it. I'm still going to be hyped for the character either way. It doesn't make any sense. And I spoke to some other content creators and they were like, no, Mike, as a content creator, you should want them to and not reveal it off the bat because, you know, it's more exciting. And I was like, I don't give a fuck about all of that. Just show me the character. I just want to see the character, see what I'm buying. If they don't do that, I won't buy a season pass. Obviously, I'll just get the characters as and when. I already got the character pass, and we saw how that turned out. So if they don't reveal it all, yeah, it's whatever. But I would like them to say, instead of 4 characters, we're doing 6 characters this time. I think that'll be pretty good. Outside of that, I can't really think of anything else that they're going to announce. I imagine there's probably going to be like some balance changes they're going to talk about. That would be the perfect place to do it at the Tekken World Tour. You know, what are you changing up in the game? Now, obviously, everyone's here for the character. Everybody wants to know who this character is. It's almost confirmed now that it's going to be a guest character. Bear in mind, they said this character is going to be out before 2024 comes to a close. So potentially the final day of the year, we could get him or her. I know a lot of people are going to get pissed off either way now. So much has been built up around this. It's going to be very hard to drop a character into this that is going to please everyone. I've made some predictions who I think it could be. Now, what I was going to say initially is that, you know, if it's going to be at the Tekken World Tour, it might be like Jinpachi or Ancient Ogre. Ancient Ogre makes sense. There's a lot of signs pointing that he's going to show up in Tekken very soon, at least for me anyway. But I have made a list here of characters that I think it could be. So I'm going to read off to you some of the characters that I have in mind that would make sense for Tekken. My list, I had a whole video, but my list consisted of, for the Tekken characters, Jinpachi, Ancient Ogre, Marduk and Fakuram. Marduk and Fakuram because it's believed that they're already in the game, they're just holding off. There's apparently some code that was found with Marduk and Fakuram, or what looks like it might be them. So they were like easy picks. Jinpachi and Ancient Ogre are the only characters that I can see really matching the level of hype that Heihachi would have brought, and even then that might be pushing it. It's just because Jinpachi is the only Mishima character that is really missing from basically everyone's in it now, right? Other than Kazumi, she's been dead for ages. Bring back Jinpachi, you've got everyone there. Ancient Ogre is closely tied to the Mishimas, obviously. You know, I'm not going to go into the whole Tekken lore now, but it would make sense for him to come back, considering Jun has come back. But if you forget about Tekken characters, and then you look at other fighting game franchises, Virtua Fighter is a very, very obvious pick. You've got Akira, he's really the only character I would take from Virtua Fighter and put into Tekken. It's the only one that makes sense. With Akira, you can also do a crossover with Street Fighter as well and put Ryu in there. I'd love to see Ryu and Akira fighting each other in the Tekken space. In Street Fighter, you've also got Akuma and Sagat. Sagat because of Fakuram, and Akuma because he actually belongs in the Tekken story now. There's a whole game that is really centered around him. He's canon in Tekken, so it makes sense. If you don't go that route, SNK, you know, you've got Rugal, you've got Iori, you've got Yamazaki. I know Yamazaki might be a left field pick for some people, but I really like Yamazaki. I think he would look really cool in Tekken. So from SNK, I would go that way. And then the very obvious one, and one that people have spoken about a lot, is Mortal Kombat. There's been some interest, I think, in Sub-Zero being there. So Scorpion and Sub-Zero are obvious picks for Mortal Kombat. They could go either way with those characters. I would be happy with any of those. I wouldn't be mad at them. Somebody suggested Jury earlier on when I was on Twitter, and I was like, yeah, do you know what? Jury, yeah, I could see that. Jury over Chun-Li, I'm not too sure. Chun-Li's name really has a lot of staying power, but Tekken doesn't always go for the main characters, you know, as we saw with some of their previous inclusions. Sometimes they'll look elsewhere. You know, they went for a boss character in Geese over Terry or Rock or Kyo. So it's possible that they could do Jury over Chun-Li, but that would be for the fighting game section. For like adventure games or RPGs, I had here written down Devil May Cry, and I put / Bayonetta as well because she kind of falls under that aesthetic. You could have Virgil or Dante, not with their swords. For anyone starts flaming me, not with their swords, but if you've played Devil May Cry or aware of a weapon called Beowulf, which is like gloves and these shoes that they put on, and they basically improves their martial arts. It's from like, I believe it's a boss that you beat at some point in Devil May Cry 3, and you get Beowulf. It was always like a really, really great weapon. Now I remember the boss battle was actually really cool. So I would go down that route. Bayonetta is an easy pick as well. She's so cool. She's one of the coolest female characters that we've ever seen, so I wouldn't be mad at that. You've got Metal Gear Solid, Snake, Liquid or Naked Snake. Either one of those, wouldn't be mad at that at all. Metal Gear in any franchise is going to elevate it, especially because we've got another Metal Gear game coming out very soon. It would make complete sense to me. And I don't think anyone's going to get mad at Snake being in a fighting game. I know I would, and I think, you know, he could have a cool interaction with Dragunov, kind of maybe similar fighting styles. I don't know, we'll see. Then you've got The Last of Us. Now, I know this is a bit of a left field pick, but Tekken did pick Negan, and you know, he was a zombie slash a post-apocalyptic TV show character, and even though Joel is originally from a game, there's also the TV show, which is going to be coming out soon. I know it's a really weird pick, but Negan was a really weird pick. Negan fighting martial artists makes no sense whatsoever. It might seem a bit more normal now because we've seen him for so long, but at that time it was the most ridiculous thing any of us have ever seen. So Joel, just because of his popularity, I wouldn't rule it out. Okay, now this is a very left field pick, but again, Negan, I need to stress to you guys, at the time that was absolutely mind-blowing. You've also got Elden Ring. Now, no character in particular. There's a lot of popular characters in Elden Ring. I wouldn't be surprised if Elden Ring showed up just because it's a Bandai Namco game as well, as far as I'm aware. Even though FromSoft developed the game, Bandai Namco, I believe, are the publishers. If I'm not getting that wrong, please correct me in the comment section. Again, it's like 6 a.m. guys. I am very, very tired. I'm supposed to be at the gym right now. I'm going to edit this afterwards. There's also, obviously, the obvious pick is Yakuza, Ichiban, Kiryu, or Majima. I'd be happy to see either one of those characters. Majima, just because, you know, he's got a baseball bat, you can migrate some of Negan's moveset over. Same goes for Ichiban. He's also got a baseball bat, and he is the current main character of the Yakuza series, so you can migrate some of Negan's moveset over. Kiryu, because he's iconic and everyone's been asking for him. Obviously, it's more likely that he will show up in the new Virtua Fighter game, if he shows up anywhere. But Yakuza is a very obvious pick. Anime franchises, King J mentioned that they're in Shibuya and it would make sense to do Jujutsu Kaisen, so Yuji might show up. Yuji would be one of the only characters in Jujutsu Kaisen that I would accept because he's just pure hands, so it's martial arts. He uses Black Flash maybe in Heat, so Yuji would make sense because of where they are and the Shibuya incident. Then you've also got Baki, and Yujiro. Those are two highly requested characters when it comes to anime, so I would lean more towards Yujiro. We'll see though. I'm assuming they'd probably go Baki if they were going to do that, but on the flip side of that, you got Kengan Ashura. You could pick Oma, his mode where he goes into that weird Ashura thing where he like turns sort of red. Can't remember exactly what it's called, but that could be his Heat. And then a personal favorite of mine, one that I would go to, is Fist of the North Star, either Kenshiro or Rao. For a lot of the old school anime watchers here, you're all gonna appreciate Kenshiro and Rao and what they would bring to Tekken, in my opinion, with his pressure point kind of fighting style, and then having Muso Tensei in Heat. I would be sold immediately. Like, I would switch mains, take my money. I'm all the way there. And then for like a very left field pick, and this is gonna sound kind of ridiculous, but Tekken's no stranger to having very random characters in this game. I was like, maybe they'll go to the WWE and say, hey, can we use The Undertaker or Brock Lesnar as their likeness? Now, maybe Brock Lesnar less so just because of all the Vince McMahon stuff, but The Undertaker in Tekken, I can see that happening. I mean, it's not like The Undertaker in the gimmick or in kayfabe or in wrestling world. He's got lightning and fire powers, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something crazy like that. But it's a bit of a downer for the Tekken World Tour. I don't really know why they did this. They could have waited until the show, because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not going to tune in now. I'm still going to watch it. I'm going to be streaming it, but it is a little bit of a downer. I can only imagine that they've got something really cool planned, because they will know that people were expecting the character at the Tekken World Tour. Now, the Game Awards are like a week or so away, so it's not too long to wait, but if it's not at the Game Awards, that's going to be a massive disappointment and a missed opportunity. And I would say at that point, if your deadline is the 31st of December, you have something. There's something there that you could tease us with, even a little teaser. Just a little bit to whet the appetite. If you don't do anything at either of these shows, that is a massive, massive L. Them removing it from the Tekken World Tour basically tells me it's going to be at the Game Awards and they want more eyes on it, which tells me that this character probably has worldwide appeal. Of all the fighting games, Mortal Kombat probably has the most worldwide appeal, even though it's not really too recognized in Asia, because I think they ban it. A lot of people just don't buy it. Worldwide, it's the biggest fighting game. You know, it's sold the most units. Scorpion or Sub-Zero would make sense to have at the Game Awards, but we'll see. Whoever it's going to be, it's obviously going to be a big character. If they announce a Tekken character at the Tekken World Tour, everyone's going to be at the Game Awards, everyone's going to be a bit like, why did you do that? Like, what's going on with the marketing team? Can't you guys read the room? So I can't see that happening. It's got to be something special, but I suppose we'll see. Those are the characters that I would look to. I know I named a lot of characters there. You got to cast a wide net. Can't even speak. It's 6 in the morning. I should not be recording this video right now. You got to cast a wide net with Tekken because of who they've pulled in before. I would never have seen Noctis and Negan in Tekken. Not in my wildest dreams would I have thought of those two. So now I'm looking everywhere like, you know, and the Michelin Man could show up in Tekken at this point. Who really knows? I mean, he tweeted out jokingly the other day that Thomas the Tank Engine will be a guest character. Wouldn't put it past him at this point. Maybe we'll even get that Waffle House stage. So you guys let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section. I will be streaming the Tekken World Tour basically this entire week from when it starts, I think like Thursday. And I'll see you guys then. Let me know what your predictions are. Take care and peace.